Big leadership changes are coming to Premier African Minerals, and this is hopefully going to be the start of a turnaround for the very troubled Zulu project. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Okay, we got the news yesterday that we were waiting on. We knew that George Roach was going to be stepping down, and we got information yesterday on who the new managing director is going to be. The man himself is called Graeme Hill, and he will be taking over on the 16th of July. So we have less than 3 weeks until that appointment. But this isn't just about hiring anybody. This is someone that's got a proven track record, 41 years in the engineering space, and he's known for delivering complex projects across Africa, Europe, and Central Asia. He's worked with big names like Anglo America, Adriatic Minerals, and Oxus Gold, leading full mine builds from feasibility to production. Most recently, he oversaw the Vares project in Bosnia, turning it into a major success. And I suppose if you're looking at the appointment, you've got to look at the history here and go, okay, this guy is actually proven to be able to do this. Now, let's have a look at those individual companies just to see where the stock price sits and actually how much of a success has these things been. So if we go on his LinkedIn, we can see he was the project director in April 2009 for about 2 years, till 2011 March. Then he moved on to Goldfields. You can see Axman, the Hummingbird Resources project manager, chief operating officer, president and CEO of Silver Bear Resources. This is the one that was in Moscow in Russia. 4 years he worked there. Chief operating officer at Adriatic Metals, which is the one that we're really focusing on here because he was there for 5 years. So if we actually take a look at this, we can see that the stock price went up 500%, and over the 5 years it's up 257%. That is what's getting investors of Premier African Minerals very excited, and understandably we have been an absolute horror show, as I said, 98%, 99% down under George Roach's tenure. This man has been able to go in and leave a company at all-time highs, which is fantastic. And we can see here 257% rise in 5 years. That would be very attractive to a lot of Premier African Mineral shareholders, I am sure. Oxus Gold, he was project director April 2009 to 2011. Unfortunately, that company appears to have gone bust, but it happened years after the fact that he was there. I don't know if he got off the sinking ship. I don't know if what the conditions were. We'll just have to assume that he did a good job there as well. And unfortunately, things change. I mean, you're talking the best part of 10 years later. So it's safe to say that that company was probably done well under his tenure as well. When looking at Silver Bear, it's a company that is still going to this day. So I suppose when you're looking at a company on the brink, as in Premier African Minerals, is on the brink of potentially going bust, it's very encouraging to see that a man has stepped in with his caliber that he has, the record that he has, to come in and say, okay, I can take this challenge on, which firstly is admirable. But he's obviously seen something. He's obviously been to Zulu. He's seen the site. He's seen what there is there, and he's gone, you know what it is, I can turn this around and get this to become a success. And that's what a lot of us shareholders are hoping for. And in the Discord, we're seeing a lot of optimism come back in, which is very encouraging. You know, there's people saying we're back, baby, and you know, all this type of thing. It's a long road back. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But we have done a lot of fundraising, and that's something that we haven't yet spoke about. Premier African Minerals raised 1.575 million for the Zulu project. Funding raised through a share subscription at 0.012 per share. The contractor payment settled 1.1 million US dollars, approximately 0.74 pounds. In the Zulu project, contractor invoices, total new shares 19.3 billion. It's horrible. Added to the subscription, and the purpose of the funds is obviously to finally complete and install the cleaner section inserts to improve the grade recovery, progress construction of a secondary spodumene flotation plant, and cover operational costs and settle debts. And the idea is here we've got till George Roach is leaving, which is mid-July, and the idea is we are expected by July and August to be back with CAMAX. So effectively, we're hoping this is all going to work. The plan clearly is going to be put in place, and we've got Mr. Hill now stepping in to lead proceedings with that negotiation. So it is, for the first time in about 2 years, it is really looking quite optimistic at Premier African Minerals, in my opinion. Now, something that, again, we have to look at is the fact that these shares were issued around the 17th of June, and to stop, you know, crazy trading and pretty much their contractors selling their shares, they were locked down for 7 days. So if we look at the dates of the 17th of June, assuming they were all released and the 18th was the first day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it feels a bit strange to me that this news has just came out the day after potential people could sell their shares. Manipulation, I don't know, just you know, coincidence, the timing, but it does seem a bit odd to me that the good news comes out, share price pumps on the day that people can sell their shares. Just speculating, I don't know, but we will see what comes in on Monday. I'm very optimistic that this is all going to start turning around as long as we can get this thing working. It does seem like this guy has the capabilities of being able to get this to full production. Godfrey has went out to say, and he says he's pleased and relieved that Graeme has accepted his contribution to resolving the issues of Zulu will be marked and significant. He's obviously confident that this man can do what he's said he can do, obviously. While his title is currently non-board managing director, he may soon be promoted to chief executive officer, CEO, guys, pending final checks and probation. So yeah, look, it's is he going to be the right fit? We're not out of the woods yet. He's going to come in and see what the situation is. If he can start turning this around and gives the right feelings, this guy could be promoted to CEO. And I think if he gets promoted to CEO, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that real concrete cement to say this guy is who is leading us forward. This could be the turning point for Premier and its shareholders with lithium demand soaring globally. All eyes are now on Zulu and on Graeme Hill to deliver. So let's have a look at the share price. Well, this is on the day chart. We can see very flat, very stale. But look at this volume that's coming. This is obviously on the back of the news. People are going, right, I'm buying here. There has to be only upside here. And I suppose from my perspective, what I'm going to do is, again, what I have been doing for the last 2 years. I'm just going to hold. I'm massively down. Yes, this is a good fundamental news, but there's still a lot of ifs and buts. It's the probation period that I'm nervous about. What happens if he comes in and goes, Jesus, nah, this is still a shit show. Like, I can't turn this around. He leaves. It's doom. It's curtains. Funding, the plant doesn't work. It's curtains. I don't see how we can do much more raising. Where's the money coming from? So there's a lot of unknowns right now, a lot of risks still with this. However, it could be a bottom if the plant works and if Mr. Hill is the man and becomes CEO, and those two things fundamentally do happen, this share price is going to pop. And surely the Christ, we are at all-time lows right now. I'm a wee bit concerned potentially of that lockdown period coming. Maybe it'll be a bit of selling next week. Who knows? Be careful for that. Watch for that. It didn't massively pump. We did get a 7% rise, which is nice on a given day, but that's not a huge raise. It's 0.0 what 13, so we're 0.001 above the share price offering. So we're not a million miles away from that. It's not, wow, God, what an opportunity to sell some shares. So if you are in that lockdown period, are you really going to be selling for a 7% gain? Potentially, I don't know, but maybe a bit of that's already been baked in on the pop on Friday. It'll be all eyes on next week to see what way this goes. But realistically, we're looking at 2/3 weeks before really any significant news comes. We're hoping to God George can deliver and leave us with some good feeling about his tenure. For me, it has been a disaster, and I am really hopeful that Mr. Hill is going to be able to come in and really take this off. If that happens, guys, look, these are great prices. If I didn't have any money in Premier African Minerals and I was looking at this here, it's got to be looking attractive, right? It's got to be. Someone's got to go, there's a real high risk reward. And we're talking significant. Now, are we going to go back to the big days of the high days? Listen, no chance. There's been far, 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 far too much dilution to even see anywhere like these prices. But a 0.4, something like that, at an all-time high after about a year of really like buying and getting product out and making it, and the prices continue to go up. I could definitely see that happening, but it's a long road to that point, that's for sure. If we look at this here, the RSI is saying down here, says it's massively oversold. That's where we're at. It looks to be crossing over since Friday. That's positive. If we look at the MACD, crossing over, looks to be going up. Again, very positive. These are, from a technical point of view, positive news. But for me, it's got to be next week. What way is the share price just going to naturally react? Is a bit of optimism going to come back in? Are people starting to buy into this, thinking this is worth a punt? It feels like it is. If people that are close to Mr. Hill know him as a character, as a person, and I've seen some things in forums, and it seems to be all positive. If that is the case, and he is able to turn this around, people will start buying in because they'll believe in him. So it is good fundamental news, but that's what we're watching for. Get the plant working, get this man as CEO. Those are two fundamental things that if they happen, it gives me a lot of confidence, and that's when I will consider buying. But for now, I'm more than happy to hold, mostly being I would need to put a substantial amount of money into this to bring my average price down, and it's just a risk that right now I am not prepared to take. Is this guy going to leave us to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Love to get some of the investors' opinions on this. Please subscribe, hit the like buttons, all that good stuff. We're getting the channel going again. I'm really excited to be back. The YouTube setup is like 70% done. Need a few things in the background, different things like that. Hopefully the mic sounds a lot better. The lighting still needs work, but we're getting there. It's good to be back. Missed you all, and thank you again for checking out my video.